Hi everybody, I'm Gabby. I'm really excited to be here. I'm a little nervous too. It's my first YouTube video. I'm worried people will catch me talking to myself. But I made myself a list because I wanted to introduce myself. Um, so what am I doing here? Well, about 2 years ago, maybe more, I discovered the high carb vegan lifestyle. And I've sort of been doing it kind of half on and off. But I've been vegan for a long time, and I'll talk about that a little later. So why do I want to be on YouTube? Well, it's a great way to stay accountable, to make friends, be part of a community that I've sort of been a part of as a spectator mainly. Just kind of staying up to date with a few folks that I'm really a big fan of. So, and I think it's really great for to share your own unique experiences. I think everybody has something unique to offer. And so, I just kind of wanted to put my own life out there, and I've really appreciated other people doing that. So, and just because somebody likes your message doesn't necessarily mean they like you. I feel like YouTube is a lot like Friends, and maybe you're not that into the way someone delivers certain messages. So, it's good for tons of people to be out there delivering their own message the way that they do that. So as far as veganism goes, I wanted to just kind of share my vegan story. I became a vegetarian when I was 11, and then shortly thereafter, when I was 13, I decided to become a vegan. I kind of made the connection, partly because my sister was a vegetarian, but partly also because I had adopted a horse, and I realized that riding horses is not really very vegan, but I loved this horse, and I made that connection of, I'm an animal lover, what am I doing eating animals? So eventually I went vegan, and I'll say this was, before the time when the internet was a beautiful place full of information. So if I had sought the information out, I probably would have done a better job of being vegan. But now looking back on it, I realized that I was not being the most awesome vegan I could have been. I was definitely eating stuff that I didn't realize had the possibility to have animal products in it, like miso soup, that kind of thing. I always thought, oh, it's miso, right? So, yeah, and then I stayed vegan for a long time, from the time I was 13 until probably I met one of my boyfriends when I was 19, I want to say. And he was very manipulative and basically told me, how do you know you don't like meat? How do you know you haven't had it in a long time? And I was like, I guess that's a fair point. Even though I was an ethical vegan, I was in a rough place, and I thought, okay, sure, I'll try eating meat again. So I did, and it felt so wrong to me. I didn't like it at all. I didn't keep it up for very long, basically, and I started eating vegan again. And then eventually I went and did my undergraduate degree, and the place where I went had just the most amazing community in general, and they had this amazing co-op, and I thought, you know what? I like how they source their ingredients, so I'm gonna try some stuff. And I basically started eating eggs and cheese again, and that did not go well because I'd basically become lactose intolerant as a product of being vegan, but I probably would have happened anyway, because it can happen if you don't eat dairy for a long time. You just stop producing the enzyme lactase. So that happened. And then eventually I started eating some fish, because I was the Pacific Northwest and there was tons of salmon there, and yeah, so, and I was always very particular about eating things, and I never ate them very often. I still felt very, very strange about eating meat, dairy, all that. And then, kind of long story short, eventually I found out that I am lactose intolerant. Big surprise. I kind of knew that, but I needed somebody to, you know, to test me and tell me for me to really stop, because, you know, that stuff is like crack. So I did that. I stopped eating dairy probably 2012-ish, yeah, after I graduated undergrad. And then I sort of just really was like, I just don't connect with this whole meat eating thing, and decided to stop altogether again. But I would sort of, you know, allow myself once in a while to like eat something, as long as it didn't bother my stomach. And what I mean by something is like pizza or something. But then, yeah, I discovered 80-10-10. I volunteered at the co-op, and a guy came in, and he was buying a huge crate of oranges, and I was like, oh, you know, I always struck up conversation with people. What are you going to do with those oranges? And he said, eat them. And I was like, okay. And so he told me about 80-10-10, just briefly, and I went and looked it up, and boy, that changed my world. And I was looking for tons of resources on 80-10-10. I ran into Freely the Banana Girl, and started watching all her videos, and decided to try 80-10-10, and really didn't enjoy it. I am much more of a savory person. I love fruit. I love having it for breakfast, but I really needed savory cooked food. And then I did try raw tofu, and that was fine. But again, I only want fruit for breakfast, and then I want like a, you know, savory, delicious meal at lunch, sandwich, cooked food, whatever. And I don't want to get into too many of the details of my sort of weight loss diet roller coaster. I'll get into that probably in a different video, so I'm just gonna stick to the veganism stuff. And then, you know, eventually, like most people do, I discovered the starch solution, and just kind of the plant-based diet, and pieced my own stuff together. And it wasn't until recently that I decided, because I'm kind of on this self-love journey as well, which I think is so important, that I kind of decided, you know what, like ethically, I just am so drawn into the vegan world. It's really difficult for me to not eat that way. So I'm just gonna suck it up, and I say suck it up like it's difficult. It's not difficult. It's actually very easy. And just do it. And one of the really important things that made it much easier for me to stop eating out is buying an Instant Pot. So yeah, thanks to High Carb Hannah for that one. And yeah, so part of my reason for doing this, like I said, is accountability. I want to build a community of people who support me. I have actually, I think, never had a vegan friend for the, you know, 15 plus years I've sort of been vegan, vegetarian. So yeah, hopefully I'll connect with some people, and please subscribe and support me. I'd love to get to know you and have you get to know me. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. See you later. Bye.